Hi guys, my name's Dan. Welcome to Dakes Gaming. So today we're going to cover a lot of information that Bungie has recently dropped. So you're probably going to find it easier to digest this information by watching the video, and I'll explain everything as we go along. So stay tuned. If you find the information informative and you like what you see, then please feel free to like the video and also to subscribe for future content. Thanks. So as you've probably heard, Witch Queen is not going to be released until early 2022, which means that Bungie have had quite a lot of issues with COVID-19, but there's also been other things that they want to take into account, such as development time and making sure they get it right, which as a player, I personally appreciate that. Now, with the Witch Queen being pushed back, this means that after Lightfall, there's going to be an additional chapter which will help introduce us to the next phase of Destiny. However, this is quite far away, so it's something that we will definitely cover at a later stage. So the next bit of exciting news is that Bungie has decided to remove sunsetting completely from the game. Now, what this means is that any armor or weapons that you have obtained in this year is going to remain in the game, and you can take that forward with you to the Witch Queen, which is going to be very exciting because this will probably help us with the raid itself, but other activities which are introduced to the game. So I look quite forward to this moving forward. They're also going to assess a way of which to balance the game a little bit, because they don't want people to use the same weapons over and over again for multiple years. So there's going to be some form of balancing. So it's worthwhile keeping that in mind, that next year this could change and that you'll find that the weapons will be either adjusted or they'll bring in something else to compensate. So now let's get into my favourite topic. So raids. Now it is unfortunate that Witch Queen will be pushed back, and obviously a lot of us wanted to see a new raid come into the game. However, what you are going to find is that in Season 14, Vault of Glass will return, and I am very excited for this. Now, it looks like most of it is going to remain the same. However, they have said that there will be some surprises in there as well, and they are going to raise the difficulty of it to make it so that it is still quite a challenging raid. Now, there will be a belt awarded to the first team who completes the raid. However, this is subject to completing certain requirements within the raid. So that is going to throw quite an interesting dynamic into the mix, because I'm not quite sure what they're going to do with that. What if people have to leave, if they have to do stuff on different days? It might take longer than 24 hours to actually complete this activity with all the challenges that they have actually put in place. But who knows? It's all speculation, and at the end of the day, we're all going to have fun, and then we can focus on it together. Also, they want to incorporate a master version of the Vault of Glass into the game by the end of the year. Now, they are also looking to incorporate this into all future raids as well, just because of the Master and Grandmaster difficulty Nightfall strikes, which have increased the difficulty of the Nightfall itself. Now, when completed, they are also going to offer Adept, Raid and Dungeon gear. So this will be really interesting to see how this works moving forwards, because I don't know about you, but I'm very excited about a Fatebringer that's Adept. Also, here's a sneak peek of the armor that's going to drop from the raid that's in the expansion, the Witch Queen. It looks pretty epic, to be honest. So the moment we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. So in Season 15, we're going to have crossplay amongst all consoles and PC. So this is going to be a very welcomed addition to the game. And don't worry too much, because you won't be match made against people in Crucible if they are playing on a PC. The only time when you can actually join someone that's playing in Crucible on a PC is if you're actually invited by them. So there's little risk involved, so you don't need to worry about it too much. Overall, it's going to be fantastic for the game. The community especially is going to benefit from this, because we're going to be able to play with everyone. And that's going to provide a lot more avenues, especially for people who are playing on Xbox and playing the game when they're actually offering it for free. They're going to be playing in the masses, I imagine. So next up, we've got Crucible updates. Now, this is a very popular conversation, which is stasis. Now, you're either for or against it. However, Bungie are making these changes, so it's not going to make too much difference. However, I understand your perspective. Anyway, there's going to be some nerfs and some buffs to each individual class. So you're going to find that Titan is going to have a bit of a nerf on it. Now, it's quite well known that the Titan Stasis Super is broken beyond belief, and I'm sure that most people will agree with me on that one. And the Hunter is going to have some nerfs as well. So this is going to be an interesting one. And then finally, the Warlock, they're going to be actually fixing some bugs with that, where Ice Flare bolts and Shade Binder super projectiles weren't tracking properly. So that's going to be welcomed for the Warlocks. And then also there's going to be a decrease in crystal shatter damage as well. So it's a bit of a mixed bag with the Warlocks. However, the other two classes are going to have a nerf effectively. So there's going to be a lot of updates coming to Crucible moving forward. So they are going to be looking at overhauling the Trials of Osiris and adding matchmaking into it, but also making it so that people are discouraged to go and jump off cliffs or leave rounds halfway through a card because they want specific items. So they want to just try and balance it out a little bit better, because from what I understand, the numbers of trials was nowhere near what they were wanting. So this is something which I think a lot of the PvP community were expecting, and they'll try and find ways to reward you better moving forwards. Which brings me on to this. So they want to keep adjusting weapon types and introducing new perks that make weapons more desirable to use in a PvP environment, but also in PvE as well. But they are going to be a focus on Crucible. So you're going to find that there's a lot of new guns coming out and a lot of new features and perks that are added to the weapons themselves. Now, Bungie want to adventure down this path because the more they can release and the more that we can actually obtain these items, we can find god rolls based on the set perks that are released. And I think this is going to be quite fun because at the end of the day, we just want to make new meta builds, and this can also be transferred into the PvE community as well. So some welcome news this year is that Bungie is going to be doubling the size of their game security team with the aim of commitment to fair play. So they have been in the news recently about tackling these cheat companies and they have been pretty aggressive and filed lawsuits against them. So hopefully in the near future we may find that there is a Destiny without people cheating, which would be amazing, because half the time when I'm playing Crucible I don't really know that I'm actually playing against cheaters. So YouTubers like Lucky, who look at footage, he analyzes people who actually play Crucible and spends a lot of time identifying the cheaters and then reports them to Bungie, which I think is quite a good community service. And I think that overall, I think it's really entertaining to watch as well. So many of you have probably noticed that Ikora Rey has not really been in the game that much, if at all, this season, and Bungie have confirmed that Ikora will be appearing in Season 14 and also playing a pivotal role in The Witch Queen. So I'm looking really forward to that, because if you go back to the old days, like the Red War, Ikora was capable of taking down ships with the Nova Bomb, and that's pretty badass, to be honest. So I'm looking really forward to seeing what she does next. Finally, let's talk about power. So Bungie have confirmed that they're going to be making an amendment to how we play the game as far as obtaining light levels moving forward. Now, typically speaking, in all DLCs, we've typically seen a power cap increase by 50 each season. However, for people that are getting back into the game, it can be a little bit daunting sometimes to reach that requirement. So they are going to be reducing that to a power cap of 10 for each non-expansion season. So what this means is that if you are able to reach 1310 this season, then in next season it's going to be 1320. So it's going to make life a lot easier and hopefully reduce the amount of blue items that we get. So that brings a close to the video. Thanks very much for watching. It has been a lot of fun taking all of the content that Bungie has posted today and putting it into one short informative video. Hopefully you did find it was informative and the content was good. So if you did like it, do throw a like to the video, please. And if you want to see more content like this, including gameplay and guides, etc., then you can subscribe to the channel as well. I am actively doing as much as I possibly can to provide informative and useful information to the whole of the community. Thanks very much. Have a great day.